We are back on episode 4, part 3 of a Hardy Conversation.
First time ever.
We told you we just might get to this point on this episode, and we did. We had so much to go over. We still have 3 more questions from you out there in Cyberland, plus the bash to go over. So we have a lot of stuff still yet to cover. Let's get right to it. My homegirl, Sandy Stars.
We love you, Sandy.
Since TNA tours mostly on the East Coast and somewhat around the world, why don't they hardly come to the West Coast? I mean, they did a show last year in Anaheim, and from what I've seen when people go to signings and shows, some of them like TNA. Was this like some kind of curse or something? Well, Sandy, your prayers have been answered. August 1st, 2009, tickets go on sale at Ticketmaster and the Bren Center of UC Irvine box office for Bound for Glory, live here in Southern California.
In Irvine, which is basically TNA's Bound for Glory, is like WrestleMania.
Yeah. It is going to be huge, 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 huge. The Hardy guys will be there. We are not going to miss the second time that TNA came to SoCal. I didn't get to go to the house show in Anaheim. We will be at the Bren Center of UC Irvine. This is huge for me. Like Chris just said, this is basically their WrestleMania. I've been to WrestleMania 21. Chris has been to every WrestleMania since 19, not counting WrestleMania 20.
Yep.
So for him to miss this opportunity to go to a TNA WrestleMania, I just don't think he'll do it. I will be there. My fiancé will be there.
My fiancé will be there.
So August 1st, tickets go on sale for October 18th. Last question here off of the internet actually comes from YouTube. Username FlyboyRex wants to know what we think about Kennedy possibly going to TNA and what are our views on a possible Matt Morgan versus Main Event Mafia storyline. As far as Kennedy going to TNA, it's always a possibility. I do believe he worked some job matches over there a few years back before he became Mr. Kennedy in WWE. Stat Boy, LB Kid, if you could look into that for me. I believe he actually wrestled under his real name, Ken Anderson. It's always a possibility. I mean, hell, they've got Kevin Nash over there, so they may as well bring someone else in with Kevin Nash syndrome.
Oh, boy.
As far as Matt Morgan in a Main Event Mafia storyline, I liked where the Samoa Joe Main Event Mafia storyline was going, where he was single-handedly taking out each member of the Mafia.
That was fun.
They turned him heel before he got to really go against Kurt Angle and Steen. I wish maybe they had waited on his heel turn to the next pay-per-view so that you really could have seen him demolish the Mafia and maybe even bring Matt Morgan in with him as a part of the Nation of Violence to go against the Mafia, and then have Joe turn heel on Matt Morgan, join the Mafia, and start a huge Matt Morgan Main Event Mafia storyline. As it is right now, Matt Morgan lost to Steen, and I honestly think that's going to be the end of the Matt Morgan Main Event Mafia storyline.
And our last question is from a friend of ours. Is Edge, will he turn face? I hope he does. I miss the old Edge out there, so I would love to see Edge turn face. What about you?
I think the only reason they haven't turned Edge completely face yet is because he is the best heel they have on SmackDown.
They do have Jericho, but he's...
But Jericho is a whiny heel. He's not a good, in-your-face, aggressive heel.
Yeah.
Edge is the heel that talks shit and backs it up. Jericho is the heel that talks about how all the fans have turned on him and he didn't give them any reason to, and the fans are all hypocrites and blah, 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 blah. Jericho, can you even spell hypocrite?
Yeah, seriously. So I think they'll turn Edge face, when Punk turns heel.
Possibly Punk, when Punk goes full on heel, they'll make Edge a face. I just think that Edge is too good of a heel to waste turning face. Same thing with Randy Orton on Raw. Randy Orton is the best heel they have on Raw. It is no coincidence that the two men that formed Rated RKO are the best heels in the company.
Yeah.
Granted, Randy learned how to be a good heel from watching Triple H and Ric Flair. The only way that he would lose that spot is if Trips went heel, and I know he wants to end his career as a babyface, so I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Now on to the Bash.
Not the Great American Bash, once again, for clarification, the Bash.
We have 7 matches.
So far.
Yeah, so far. First we have Miz versus John Cena. Yeah, enough said. Miz has tried to beat John Cena or tried to upstage him for the past 2 months. I hope John Cena just ends it, but I think Miz will find some way to win this. I really do. I think Maurice maybe come on down, help him, or he'll get DQ'd or something where Miz will win on John Cena.
I just want to see the Miz win, period. It doesn't have to be a clean victory for me. It can be a DQ, it can be outside interference. I don't care. John Cena needs to get knocked down a couple pegs. Miz is in fact awesome, just like he says every week. They need to seriously push Miz towards a U.S. title run, and a win over John Cena is just what he needs to elevate him up to the next level. Enough said. Tag titles are on the line. The Colognes versus the Legacy. Legacy is definitely going to walk out with the straps, but we got a hint of a possible heel turn on Raw for one of the Colognes. I think that Primo may end up turning his back on Carlito and joining up with the Legacy. That would be very, very interesting. I've been talking for a long time about adding another member to Legacy. It was originally going to be one of the Hart Dynasty, but that is going solid on ECW, so you don't really want to mess that up. I think it might just be Primo Colón.
I think it will be Carlito, because he's been U.S. champ, he's been IC champ, he's established himself in WWE. So I think Carlito will say, you're not cool anymore. I've been champion. I carried you on the tag team champions. I'm gonna be better. I want to be a world champion.
But Carlito has been heel a lot. Primo just came to the company not even a year ago. He's been He had like 2 singles matches. Struggling to find his own identity, and I think by joining the Legacy, he will get that opportunity to break out from his brother's shadow. You've got the
IC match, mask versus title, to see who wins it all. Jericho versus Ray. If Ray loses, he has to unmask himself again, like WCW. And if Ray wins, he gets the IC title. I think, and I really hope, Ray wins back the IC title, because we would not want to see Ray unmasked. It's been done before. It's old WCW rubbish that doesn't need to be said. It needs to be done. Ray, that's his identity. That's what 5-year-old kids love, to wear his mask. You take off the mask, Vince will lose a lot of money.
Seriously. He'll lose money off of the mask replicas that he licenses. He'll lose money off of the action figures, T-shirts. Everything. Plus, he'll lose a lot of his Latino audience over on SmackDown, which is the main reason they put Rey Mysterio back over there, is because SmackDown has a very heavy Latino audience.
Yes.
You've got the Women's Championship with Michelle McCool challenging Melina. No brainer here. I think Melina's going to retain.
Yeah.
You've got 3 world title matches. I'm not even going to go over all the matches. Y'all probably know them. I think Punk is going to retain, unfortunately. I think Triple H is going to become champion. And with the scramble for ECW, I think that Tommy Dreamer will retain.
I hope Jeff wins, but most likely Punk will retain. I think that Orton will retain, and Legacy will all be with the belts. And for ECW, I think either Christian or maybe even Finlay, because Finlay's never had the world belt, so I think maybe Finlay will win. So that concludes episode 4 of our Hardy Conversation.
We'll see you next week for episode 5, baby.
5.